Hello everyone, this is Try, aka Nish. Today I'm back again. It's been a while, but finally I'm back. So we have introduced our new topic in our class on its BDD concept, right? And also we're using a Cucumber tool for in order to do our testing automation. So our homework for this one, for the first, this is our homework number one for the BDD class, and this is the expectation. So we're supposed to, use the Cucumber tool in our Selenium, and then run all these codes, have our codes, and then be able to perform all these scenarios, right? And we only are supposed to do one scenario for this homework, but we can definitely split that into different scenarios. But let me just give you the expectation. Actually, let me just run my code real quick and see everything passes, okay? And then I'm gonna go give you guys a walkthrough of everything, okay? Okay, so it uses the JUnit test for running. Okay, I'm using the Chrome as well for the driver. Supposed to log in, go to bank and cash, go to list accounts, fill out all the details. I'm trying to randomize the account number too. That way it doesn't kind of interfere next time when I run this code. It's gonna save it. Okay, it's gonna create a screenshot. I already have that. Go to list accounts for verification. Go to the bottom, and you can see it's right there, and it's closed. Perfect. Okay, so it's green as you can see, and let me say it's showing you all the steps. There were like, I don't know, 18 steps. Okay, and under one test suite in one scenario. And so the expectation was we're supposed to go into this tech files login website, right? Land on the dashboard page. We're supposed to, go to the bank and cash tab, go to new account, fill out all these details and everything as unique as you can. And then once you hit the submit button, it's going to give you the confirmation that you successfully created the account. And then when you go to list accounts, we're supposed to verify it towards the end. And mine, for some reason, it goes to the bottom, so I had some code that will scroll me down to the very bottom, and it's right here. This is the one I just created, right? Okay. All right, so let me show you my codes real quick, okay? Since this is a pass, it's green, that's very good, right? So we're applying the also the page object model. We're still, we're adding a new source folder here, which is resources, which has our feature package, and which has a feature. And we're trying to, because since it's a little bit about BDD and Cucumber. BDD is a behavior-driven development, right? So it uses the Cucumber is the tool that is used to run our BDD testing, and the feature with the features basically this is written in the Gherkin language, which is the language Cucumber uses. So once we convert a once we create a Maven project, we convert that into the Cucumber project, and this is the first thing we would want to do. We are with our this feature is our test suite, and then our test case will be the scenario or scenario outline. In this case, we're using tags. We're using background for similar methods, similar steps, or similar steps. Yeah. So all these are similar steps, right? So the expectations were this, and we're just creating this, and we're using the scenario outline. That way we can have our we can use the examples and input our data right here. That way you can just use it from here. So let me just show you. Actually, let me just show you towards the end. Okay. So let me show you my factory. The first thing we do is this, and after that we want to have our login steps, which is this right here, which has all the necessary steps, which would be every time we would make any steps, it would kind of let's say if I comment this one, it would take me here. So basically the point is we would want to make these steps as we have to match this given at given tag, and then we're supposed to write all our codes that's gonna take. Now this basically is we're using the page factory. We're trying to, because since I have different classes and different packages, right? Because I'm using, like as you can see, I'm using a package So I'm using three different sources: source folder, main Java, test Java, and test resources. And they all of them have different packages. Uh, Page package, util package has the browser factory or the test base. Page package has all the codes that goes inside that specific page. And steps have, I'm sorry, and under the test, I have a runner package which is used to run my final codes. And steps package are just the step definition of every single every single steps. Uh, so just this is what all basically I'm just I'm just using the same step definition to call out every single codes. And it's pretty long. As you can see, there are a bunch of stuff done. It's 18 steps, so it has to be long, right? Now if I was to go to individual pages, this is the login page. Actually, let me show you my browser factory first real quick. In the browser factory, I'm also using config files so that I can, change I can put my data here, test data here for browser or URL. I'm not really using URL, but basically the browser. That way I can connect the browser factory and then be able to, change between the Google Chrome or Firefox or Safari even and whatnot, right? So these are all the codes that's required to do that. If else if situation, all these things goes in here, initialization goes in here. So and also I'm including the taking screenshot. That way I have a proof of everything being passed, right? And taking a screenshot. Let me just refresh this real quick, and you can be able to see that pictures of the one I just did. And these are all the screenshots I'm gonna show you later on. So this is all the code that is required. It uses the take a screenshot interface, and I'm using the remote driver class, and I'm using the WebDriver interface. So a bunch of stuff that I've used here, and I'm trying to make it more specific to the time for the computer it's running. So in order to for the name of the file basically for the screenshot, that way it's kind of unique every time. So that's the browser factory, and these are all the information I'm putting in for myself. Just the connection between the driver, web driver, the remote driver and the take screenshot interface, right? So that's that. Let me show you my login page. Login page, it has all the elements, the web elements, XPath and all those defined libraries. Also it has the class pertaining to the specific XPaths. So I'm using thread safe for try and catch if anything, and also towards the bottom I'm using for the get page title for get title method for getting the title of for validation purpose. So that's the login page, and I also have a dashboard page which also has additional XPaths, web and libraries, web elements library, and then the methods are related to that. I'm also using towards the bottom for this. I'm gonna come back to this later. Because so I also have the base page where I have all the, my own modified, my customized methods for the validation and the WebDriver weight and the random number generator. I haven't used select drop down, but this is the one I've used several times, and I'm showing what I meant by that. So in the add new account page, this is the same exact thing again. Bunch of web XPath and all those web elements in there. And also I'm trying to every time, as you can see, you can't really see it now, but my whole point was to every time I create the account, I want it to be unique, right? Because the account title and the account number, if it repeats, it's gonna give me an error saying that the account already existed. So what I'm trying to do is every time I put the account title, I'm trying to add random numbers to it at the end so that it's always unique. Same thing with the account number. Same thing with the phone number, and it's also initial balance. I could do that. I think I have done that too. So I'll show you what I meant by that. So account title, I've used random numbers generator, and also for the balance, not really. For account number, I've used the random number generator too, and I've used that for the phone number as well. Also, one thing that was a little tricky about this particular thing we haven't really learned in the class was, since my feature my steps has the examples has the integers value. This is not a string, right? But this is actually a number. So when you bring it here, we're supposed it's not going to take it because we cannot really use the string and the integers in the same place unless we convert that into each other, right? So first thing we're supposed to be first thing it kind of like it was a little tricky, so I kind of spent more time on this, but I was able to figure out finally. So the point is, once you get the whatever number from the examples, is we have to convert that into a we have to convert that into, let me show you here. We have to convert that into an integer or a double or a float, whatever is convenient for, right? If there's decimal, you probably want to use float uh, um, and a double. But if it's really a long number, you probably want to use like a long, like I've used in my phone number because it's 10 digits. So I'm trying to use long for the long class for the what do you call that, for the phone numbers. But for the desired balance, I'm using double because I want to use decimal part also. And for the account title, I'm using the integers. Actually, not account title. I'm using for account number, I believe. Yeah, for the account number, I'm using the integer class, right? So that way, so once I'm converting that into the integers, string to integers, I'm saving that in here, and then eventually I'm gonna use send keys, and I'm gonna add the random numbers to it. That way, every time it's unique, right? So it's a lot involved in there. It's kind of, I'm not really, I probably am not really good at explaining this, but uh, what I did, I kind of understood, but I'm not really. It's really tricky, so in order to do that, right? So that's the account new account page, and I can show you what else I can show you. Oh yeah, and also for dashboard steps, I was thinking to make it like, different steps page, different steps class, different steps, different features. But then I looked at the expectation, and it was everything under the same scenario outline. So I changed it to same scenario, the test suite, right? Only the one same feature. So that's that. And also towards the end, I've done because I want every time after I hit the submit, and when I go to list accounts, I can't really see it because my whatever account I created, it goes to the very bottom. So I'm using the scroll to the bottom part using JavaScript executor, and I'm using that to scroll my page to the very bottom. That way I can take my I can scroll to the bottom, and then I can take a screenshot, right? And the screenshot I'll show you where I'm saving it. So once everything is done, my screenshots are saved over here, and the recent one would probably be this and this one and this one. So I'm gonna show you the both one. So this is the account created successfully, right? This is the one. I don't know how to zoom out, but yeah, let me. Okay, so this is the account created successfully. So this is the one I just took a screenshot of, and the other screenshot I have over here is the my account creation towards the bottom. Like I was telling you, it's got. So once I scroll to the bottom, this is the actual page. Once I scroll to the bottom, let me just show you. It's not refreshed. So right now it's showing me this. So once I scroll to the bottom, I'm supposed to be looking at this. So this is a screenshot of that, basically, just for a proof purpose. And that's the screenshot. I'm using the TestNG and JUnit 4 libraries for this one. For the report, I'm trying to convert that into HTML report and also the JSON report. I can show the JSON report real quick, and which is everything here. It's kind of not really convenient for us to read for a normal person, but this is the JSON way of creating reports. Everything is passed, as you can see, and all these steps, they're basically like 18 steps, and they're all passed, right? That's the JSON report. And if I was to look at the HTML report, I can show you that as well real quick. And the internet web browser is the best one. And as you can see, there's one scenario, there's one test scenario or test case, and then this is all the examples I've used. And also the result is all green, meaning everything is passed, right? And it's pretty convenient to, it's also very visible. I guess everything is right there, like whatever you've done. So it's a pretty good report. And also the cucumber, I'm sorry, no, the palm XML. I would like to show the dependency for this. I've used a bunch of dependencies for the cucumber, JUnit, Selenium. IO, Cucumber, and a bunch of other MySQL. You don't really need that for this one, but I've just added a lot of the necessary dependencies as well for the POM XML. Okay, well that's about that. What else should I show you guys? I think that's about it. But yeah, it was pretty, it was a good experience trying to, figure this one out, because there sure is a lot of stuff happening here. So I really sure had fun with it. There's still so much learning left to do, but this is just the beginning, I guess. But yeah, again, thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you guys, learn something from this. Um, if you guys have any questions, do let me know. All right, I'm gonna sign out then. Bye bye. See you next video.